Do you know that unless you have the knowledge of your true self, you will not be able to understand the working of the divine and this universe. All divine knowledge begins with the knowledge of the true self. Bhagwan Shri Krishna follows the same approach in the Bhagavad Gita. He begins by explaining that what we call as the self is really the soul, not the material body. And the self or the soul is eternal, just as God Himself is eternal. So today we shall be going very deep into this aspect of true knowledge of our inner self. So stay with us till the end. And if you have not subscribed till now, I suggest you to subscribe to this channel now so that you do not miss out on the forthcoming lectures in this series. So before we start, kindly allow me to pay my gratitude to my Guru. Om Ram Shri Kanhaiya Lal Sharmaye Namaha. Om Shri Guruve Namaha. Bhagwan Shri Krishna starts with the knowledge that the soul is eternal. So, if the soul is eternal, it implies that there is life after the death of the material body. The only thing that remains unchanged is the Atma, our soul, which is eternal, and it passes on from one body to another at the time of death of the physical body. According to Lord Shri Krishna, the one who knows this truth is a Pandit, and such a wise man would never grieve at the death of a person, since the only thing that dies is their physical existence in this physical realm. But one obvious question that comes up at this point is that if there is no reason for one to grieve at the passing of the physical body, why do we still experience happiness and sadness on a daily basis? Bhagwan Shri Krishna is the all-knowing and the compassionate one. So, he addresses the question in the next verse. Matra sparshastu kaunte shitoshna sukha dukkhadaha agam apayino nityas tans titikshasva bharatah. Lord Shri Krishna addresses Arjuna as Kaunte, meaning son of Kunti. He says it is the Matra Sparsha, which means the contact between the senses and the sense object, which give rise to temporary perceptions of Sukha, meaning happiness, and Dukkha, meaning distress. And these are Anitya, meaning non-permanent. And they come and go like the winter and the summer season. So, one must learn to tolerate them. Titikshasva, without being disturbed. The human body has 5 senses, or we call it as the Panch Jnanendriyas. So these 5 senses are the senses of sight, the sense of smell, taste, touch and hearing. And when these senses come in contact with their objects of perception, they give rise to sensations of happiness and distress. None of these sensations is permanent. They come and they go like the changing seasons. Happiness or sadness is the result of these senses coming in contact with the objects of perception. Just like we experience the cool water as so soothing in the summer season, but the same cool water makes us shiver in the winter. And these sensations are transitory. They are like the changing seasons, which are never permanent. So, if we do not learn to tolerate them, we would become like a pendulum which sways from one side to the other without ever being able to focus on anything. And what happens to those who learn to tolerate them and do not get swayed by these temporary sensations of happiness and distress. So Bhagavan Shri Krishna describes the quality of these noble people, who are not affected by. In the next shloka, he talks about them. Yam hina vyathante te purusham purush rishabha sam dukkha sukham dhiram so amritatvaye kalpate. Lord Krishna says, O Arjun, Purush Rishab means the noblest among the men. That person who is not affected by happiness and distress and remains steady in both becomes eligible, kalpate, for liberation. That is Amritatvaya. Now if you notice, in the previous verse, Bhagavan Shri Krishna explained that both the sensations of happiness and distress, they are fleeting, they are temporary. He now encourages Arjuna to use his discrimination of intellect to rise above these dualities of happiness and distress, of joy and sadness. But in order to develop this discrimination, we must first understand the answers to two most important questions. The first question is, why do we desire for happiness? And the second question, why doesn't material happiness satisfy us? So the answer to the first question is very simple. As we know, we are all tiny particles of that infinite divine, the Brahma. God is infinite, Anant, timeless, endless, formless, Nirgun, Nirankar, a vast ocean of pure bliss. Sat, Chit, Anand. Now we are all part and parcel of that infinite bliss. Therefore, it is our natural tendency to be drawn towards that infinite source of bliss. Just as a child is drawn towards his mother, we are drawn towards the source from where we all come from, the God, the Brahma. Therefore, whatever we do in the world is for the sake of happiness. Now, let us understand the answer to the second question. Why doesn't material happiness satisfy us? The soul, being a tiny part of the infinite consciousness, is divine in nature, just like God Himself. Hence, the happiness that the soul seeks is also divine. Now, if it is divine happiness, then such a happiness must possess the following three characteristics. Firstly, it must be infinite in extent. Secondly, it must be permanent. And thirdly, it must be ever fresh. But the happiness that we experience through the contact of the senses with their object is exactly the opposite. It is so temporary and so finite. That is why material happiness that we perceive through the body can never satisfy the divine soul. The nature of consciousness, or you may call it God or soul, can be described as Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat means truth, Chit means consciousness, Anand means bliss. Certainly in any definition, truth is going to be the essential part, that cannot be dropped. Now, this one word, Sat Chit Anand, has been cut into three just to explain it to you. Because in English, there cannot be one word for all the three. You cannot join truth, consciousness, blissfulness into a single word in the English language. The Sanskrit word is Satchitanand. All these three words are joined. Sat is there, Chit is there, Anand is there. But they are not separate and there is no gap. Satchitanand. This experience is one orgasmic, organic, unitary experience. It does not come in parts as Sat or Chit or Anand. It comes into existence as in totality. And that totality is Satchidanand. Neither can Sat exist without Chit, nor can Chit exist without Anand. In fact, there is no way to create demarcations that, this is truth and this is consciousness and this is bliss. In other words, truth is consciousness and bliss, or vice versa, bliss is consciousness and truth. They are not separate. It is not possible to drop one of them and experience the other two. They are an intrinsic unity, an organic unity. So, with this discrimination, we must learn to tolerate both the perception of material happiness as well as the sensation of material distress. Only then we will rise above these dualities and the material energy will no longer bind us. Lord Krishna says, those who are unaffected and unmoved in both happiness and distress are certainly eligible for liberation or moksha. However, why is it important that we should not be affected by neither happiness nor sorrow? The message of Lord Shri Krishna is very, very clear. Those who are unaffected by either happiness or sadness, they remain stable and are ready for moksha or for liberation. Everything we do in this life is with a purpose of ultimately merging with that one consciousness from where we have come. Only such a happiness is everlasting. That is Satchidanand. Only those having those true knowledge are able to design an extraordinary life for themselves. And if you wish to learn more secrets to design an extraordinary life, you can join my free workshop, whose link is given below. And in my free workshop, I tell you the secrets to design your extraordinary life. I am your brother guide to prosperity, and my mission is to help you realize the dreams of your life and help you achieve something worthwhile in life for which your family, your parents, and your children can be proud of. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.